Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
What you said to me, all I know is that I've got to be free from the things you do. It will all come back to you. Break stride, I'm sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Oh my god. What? Why does it keep doing this? Okay. Now we are live. Holy crap, gamers. Jeez, this feels embarrassing. I guess this is part of the editing. Well, anyhow. Good evening. And that's not supposed to be there. I try hard, but didn't get so far. Good evening. You are listening to Midnight Ramen with me, Michael. Once again, sorry for the messy start. I started off a little messy. I thought my mic was plugged in. And I'll get into that for a second, but I thought I had it plugged in, but then when I realized no sound was coming out of my microphone, I'm like, or my microphone wasn't powered on, I'm like, uh-oh. And I already had the intro playing. I'm like, oh fuck, uh-oh. What am I supposed to do in 2 seconds? But this sucks. But the reason as to that is because I got a new graphics card for my computer. Is it possibly a tax write-off? Let's call it that. It's a tax write-off. I bought a on Black Friday, I bought a new graphics card to basically up it. But to do that also, I had to get another, or basically a stronger power supply, because I was running a 500 watt power supply, and I basically just doubled it. Why doubled? Just because, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I went with 1,000 because, like, if I wanted to do something later, then I have the space to do it. I'm gonna be just doing a little bit of adjusting because, like, I still have some stuff that I had to move a lot of crap around to just basically, I unplugged everything. So I have no idea what's plugged in, what's not plugged in at the minute. So, but it's all working. So at least inside the computer, it's all working. So I'm not gonna care. Ooh. Except for that. That's my microphone. I need that. I need it. Anyhow, yeah, just don't. If you're watching the video, God, I really should have prepared a little bit more than this. If you're watching the video, just know that this is, you're watching. You're not watching a master at work. I'm saying that. I have an idea of what I want to do for the show, but I thought that I would be fine, and I wasn't. And it be like that. It really do be like that. You don't think it be like that, but it do. And you just gotta improvise. And that's kind of like a lot of my job. It's just like not really realizing, like, oh fuck, something isn't in place. It's more like you could have everything done right, but the minute something goes wrong, it's like, I had this all set up right. Why is it wrong? How did, even though I was testing it and everything was right, it's all of a sudden wrong? And then you just got to basically not want to have the urge to shoot yourself. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. A little bit beginning of that was bad, but what are you going to do? Anywho, tonight's episode is about gaming because it's the most gamingest time of the year. Gamiest time of the year. Uh, I think because it's the holiday season. There's a lot of games like out. A lot of games were released. Uh, as the day of the recording of this show, it is the gaming awards, whatever eve, or like the day of. So the gaming awards is going to be happening in like 16 hours from now. I don't know the exact time of when they start. I'll be working, so I can't really watch the stream. So I'll try to watch it while I'm working, but who knows? That's not gonna be fun. Hopefully, I'm not too busy to at least watch it because like I could say some of my predictions, but I don't really have a whole lot. The main competitors I think this year, especially for the game of the year, are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok. Um, there's some others, but some people are. There's been like a very weird fan people that's like, oh, trying to get Pokemon, and that wasn't Pokemon, like Sonic and Genshin Impact Game of the Years, which like I don't know if I don't know about Sonic. I mean, it's the for Sonic Frontiers. From what I've at least heard, like people are like mad at it. It's like you get mad that like, oh, you fall into water, you fall off a cliff into water and you die, but yet when you do that and say a Zelda or a Pokemon, you're like, that's perfectly fine. It's like, what? What? How is that? And plus, Sonic if Sonic go zoom zoom, and the grass isn't like a lot, why are you mad that there's not a lot of grass texture? Why are you mad at that? Doing a Why are you mad there's not a lot of particle effects in a Sonic game? Why are you mad at that? A game that's meant to like be like low end beyond the Switch. Why are you mad at that? How? Why? It's a game running at 720p at the lowest. Why are you mad at that? Gamers, some of you need to shut up. Me included. But I can't because I'm doing the show. Anyhow. Anyways, let's get off of that. I think Game of the Year is, in my opinion, between Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok. I personally say Elden Ring just because like I guess it's more of like open world I mean, Dark Souls was always kind of like open world. I mean, you were kind of linear in that a lot of sense, but like you had paths that you could go into and ways to fight bosses or go into certain areas and this and that. But I think Elden Ring just really opened that up to like, yeah, you could go to basically anywhere without defeating a boss. Or pretty much anywhere. I mean, there's are restrictions and there are places that you do need to fight bosses, but like main big bosses like Margit, or just to like those, or Radon, or I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but there's a lot of them. Or like there's quite a few. Margit again, Margit again and again and again. Um the I don't know. There's a lot of bosses in that game, like too many. But it's an Elden Ring game. It's a Dark Souls game, so it's a FromSoft game. So what do you expect? What do you expect? And then I think I although I've seen a bit of God of War Ragnarok, I think the main complaint of the game is that the puzzles are like they hold your hand way too much in the puzzles, and they're like, I don't want to say they're too easy, but the game literally like keeps saying, oh, maybe this rock will, if you turn this rock, you'll open up the door, which will lead into another room. It's like, you don't need to tell me that. Obvious rock over here, you need to interact with that. No shit, Sherlock. Like, Get off my back. Again, I haven't played it, so I don't want to judge. In my opinion, and I don't want to offend any PlayStation gamers, I honestly think that Elden Ring is a better game. That's just me. Am I saying that the voice acting and the voice acting is a lot voice acting in the story and the characters are better in that one? And in God of War Ragnarok, probably voice acting for sure, because there's quite a lot of good performances. But game, like as a game, I think Elden Ring is quite a bit better. And I don't think there's like the general public. I mean, there's speed running, like people that want to like get through the game like that time, but there's like the general uh populace is like how far can the populace get within the game? Because like I think with like again with God of War Ragnarok, there are people that probably beat the game within a day or two. But there are but your common 9 to 5 people that only can play for like at most a couple hours is probably like getting you know a game or two, probably getting like an hour or two, not that many after work. uh so they're probably like, I want to say at this point, I think a lot of people are either like half of, at least half through, at least half the general public. uh, or like even with Elden Ring, like there was a long period where like me and I'd say it's like with the meme culture too, there was like a long period where Margit and stuff like that, and I think there was a huge chunk of time where people were like, God, why is Radahn hard? Radahn. It's like Radahn isn't, like, I've never had problems with Radahn. I mean, he is incredibly tough, but all you need to do is just dodge. Like, you just need to dodge, my guy. Get on your horse and dodge. Summon your pals and dodge. It's not that hard. Just summon a bunch of your friends. They'll come back. They won't die. They'll come back. Just have them fight them. And eventually you'll kill them. Pretty easy. No work you need to do. You just got to like basically wait it out and just have them gang up on them. Easiest pie. I don't want to say he's the easiest boss in the game, but like at the beginning of the fight, oh, you can get wrecked. You can totally get wrecked. If you don't like dodge quickly, you're done. You're Dunsky. You're Dunsky. You can't get on your horse. You're done for. But once you get like a couple summons up, then you're fine, because the aggro of Radahn will be taken off of you and put onto other characters. But yeah, that's one. And what? I have like multiple characters and I still haven't beaten the game. Oops. But I just really haven't had the to do it. It's just It's a good game, but I don't want to. I don't know. It's big too. It's huge. It's a huge game. Anyhow, moving on from that topic, because I need to get off. I'm gonna take a little sip. Which also, as of right now, you can watch my. Actually, no, not right now. I mean, I still need to edit the video for this, but the 2022 Mountain Dew review, I did that on Sunday, and I had like 15, and it was a intense fight. I won't spoil what happens, but it was pretty tight. And afterwards, and I didn't do it on the stream, I think I just recorded it, but I mixed all the Mountain Dews that came out this year, which I realized was 10 Mountain Dews were out this year, because you had like your seasonal ones, but you also had like three 3 that were introduced in stores. Because you had Buffalo Wild Wings, you had uh, Casey's gas station, you had like Circle K gas stations had their own, and in my region, it would be Holiday for Circle K. It like we like Mountain Dew fans are eating, and they're eating well, because another thing that's happening that I think I already mentioned is that in January 1st is what they said in their ad. Pitch Black is coming back for a limited time, but I mean, it's coming back for a period, and we'll be eating well. I will definitely be trying to see how long it goes for, because I need to get content for the 2023 Dew review. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still, gotta keep on that grind. But yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke. I am happy that Pitch Black is coming back, even if it's for a little bit. And they're doing like not only just like regular Mountain Dew, they're doing like I think a zero sugar one, and they're doing like the energy drink. Like I can't remember. It's like Mountain Dew Amped or Rise. Not the one, not the Kickstart. So it is Rise. Because I think that's the other one that's just like regular flavors. But yeah, but it has like a lion on it, which I don't know what that's for. Oh yes, like I have 2 other Mountain Dew stories, and I don't want to be like talking about Mountain Dew all the time. I do like it, but I think honestly, in my opinion, my favorite drink is a Pepsi. It's a Dr. Pepper. I mean, not a Pepsi, a Dr. Pepper. I love a Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper cherry, Dr. Pepper cream, Dr. Pepper and cream soda. That shit's good. It's like I like that stuff is so good. If you hate pop, you will be converted into a lover. You'll love it. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it so much because it's so smooth. Like the flavors of Dr. Pepper and cream soda just like blend so well together. It's amazing. But again, I'm gonna backtrack it to Mountain Dew. When I was in college, I think my freshman year we were like a test group to see if Mountain Dew Fuel was gonna be a thing, and they had like I think the 4 flavors I think that they have out now are the 4 flavors that we tried, because there was like a punch, like a blue raspberry, just like a regular Mountain Dew flavor, and then I don't remember what the 4th one was. I can't remember offhand. Maybe it was like a mango. Maybe it was like a pineapple. I don't remember. But there were like 4 flavors. And it's like, this just doesn't seem right. It's like it's supposed to be Mountain Dew, but it's just more of like you put caffeine in punch. You put caffeine in like a blue raspberry soda, I guess. It's like, what are you trying to do here? And it's a thing. And it worked. I guess so. I guess so. I had another one that I just thought I get, and I was okay. Relative to gaming, when I was I was that kid that like whenever like Call of Duty, especially when like Modern Warfare 3 was out, I was that kid that would get the Mountain Dew stuff and like the case or like a bottle and just like try to find the coast to get like double XP. I was that kid to like try to hunt down for that stuff. I didn't go like super intensely hard, but like whenever I could, I tried really hard. I think mainly I did it that year, like, or even like it's like your gaming, like sporting events, like if it was like a basketball and I saw like an empty bottle, like I had boundaries. I wouldn't be digging through garbage, but if it was on top of the garbage, like visibly on top of the garbage to a point where you can, get at it, I would get that goddamn that cap. I would take it. I was that kid. I was that kid to be doing that. Uh, and even then, like even like Pepsi or Coke rewards, I don't remember. I for a while I did that. Uh, I stopped doing it because like that it's literally not, you cannot really get anything out of it. You have to like really be deep into it to actually get something good. You have to like you got to grift and grift hard to get actual good rewards on those things. And even then you're like limited to like a certain amount of entries per day. Or at least when I was doing it, you were limited to a certain amount per day. And yeah, which makes sense because like you don't want people going too hard, but like to get at the good rewards, like you had to be doing like thousands and you were limited to 15. Like my guy, my guy, that's impossible. You're never gonna make it. I, I don't understand like those kinds of things that like, oh, do this little function thing that's like, oh, just do it with your day, but we'll put it into this and then that. It's like that's not gonna get anywhere. I mean, like with like an app like Acorns or whatever, it's like, oh, they just round it up and then you put it into little pots and whatever. That's an interesting concept. But like doing like apps, it's like, oh, if you scan a receipt or something like that, I just don't get it. Like a lot of the point stuff that you get out of it's like, oh, you can have like a $200 bill, like receipt that you spent, scan it, 25 points. But then you get like one that you're like, oh, I got some like again like some Mountain Dew, which like there are a lot of like offers or specials that are like do that. It's like, oh, I got 2 6 packs of Mountain Dew, for instance. Boom, here's 500 points. It's like, huh? Huh? What? Or even sometimes it would like misscan something. And, like I think one time I was like scanned one of my uh like receipts from like a card shop. It's like, yeah, you got like expensive mascara. I'm like, what? No. But then I got extra points from like, okay, cool, cool. I don't get that. I don't understand it, but it's a thing. There are like I up so again bringing it back to the beginning. I upgraded and got like a 3060 graphics card for my computer. It took me a long time to put it in because like I want to be careful because I wanted to have because I don't know if it'll work. So I have my old graphics card still in there, just like more or less as backup. But like I still have it in there, and I have a video card like an Elgato thing to capture video from, like if I do like a Switch or something like that. Like that's where I have that connected, and I just want to make sure that all of that was able to fit in there. So it took me a long time to just make sure that it's secured on and all that stuff. It took me way too long, and then powered. Yeah, but if I figured it out, I got it to work, so I'm not mad about that. But yeah, I think I want to open up. I think right now I want to open up a pack of magic cards. I'm gonna open up a pack of magic cards, and I don't know why, but my secondary camera always keeps coming on when I'm doing this. When I, when I like when I do my show prep, I make sure that I turn it off before I start the show. But like recently, it's been putting it back on. It's like I didn't ask for you to be turned back on. Why are you turning yourself back on? It just keeps doing it. So I don't know why. And I don't want to touch it right. Like if I like smack this desk hard enough, even though it's not attached, because I have it on a boom arm now, as you can see by the if you're watching the video, I have the camera on a boom arm. So that way I can like, do things, and it looks pretty good, in my opinion. But so I wanted to get like another camera and just to test to see if like it'll work on this little thing I have my laptop, my PC tower on. I wanted to see if it like stayed on, and it does. I think it fell off when I was like doing my PC, and it gave me a good spook. But I other than that, like it's staying on, so I'm not mad. Not mad at that. But let's get into this pack. Uh, Still continuing into this box of Brothers War set boosters because I wanted to have just a lot extra to open it. And I was doing some like TikTok stuff of like some pack openings, and I was just hitting so many stinkers. Like I got like 3 collector boosters on Black Friday, all of them stinkers, all of them stinkers. Not a good single pack. But then I was like playing with some buddies on Dark Tide, and I was like, fuck, I want to open up this one pack. I'm not gonna open up anything else. I just want to open up this one pack. And sure enough, I get a good card out of him. Like, God damn it! And I wasn't even filming, so I'm like, and they're like, then why don't you just talk about it? So here we are. So, ambush, paratrooper, ooh, demolition field, throw on power suit, uh, audacity, bench with armor, pristine talisman, and then Urza's Battlethopter. And the foil is Mask of the J-Craft. So nothing good. Nothing good. Nothing really good. Although Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter is an okay card. It's not really a good pack. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. There are a lot of good games out right now. Like, goddamn, like I am not kidding. Uh, like I haven't played much of Sonic Frontiers. I haven't played much of Pokemon Violet, Scarlet and Violet. I have these games, but like there's so many games out. Because I let me just check even in my own like game roster, like what I have that's like new-ish. Because I got Warhammer, uh Warhammer 40K Dark Tide, which is, yeah, that's a whole thing. And that's a big reason why I upgraded my graphics card too, is because like if I want to be doing intense games, now the only issue is my internet, and that's its own separate thing that I will address at a later point. And also, you know, eh, if I find something, I'll find something. If not, whatever. Uh, Sonic Frontiers. I should really update Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors, I think that might be nominated. It's not nominated for Game of the Year, but honestly, it should have been nominated for Game of the Year because like it came out like right around this time, like a year ago. Or like when I did a 24-hour stream, and I that's basically the only thing I played. Like I played some other stuff. I did like D&D and played like a little Fortnite, but that was the main thing I was playing the whole time consistently because it was fun. And it's $3, or it was $3. I think it's like $5 now, so like $2 more, and they've been updating it constantly. So like, and like the game started like, oh yeah, there's like 10 characters and 30 collectibles, whatever, but now it's like over 100 collectibles. There's like 30, like I want to say like 30 characters. There's not really, but like a lot of characters, a lot of stages, this and that. It's like it's so cool. It's so cool. And like a lot of Easter eggs, and it's just like this is crazy. I don't know how you guys did it, but it's crazy. I'll drink to that. Like that, like that was so freaking cool. And another similar game, Soulstone Survivors, is like kind of in that same vein of like, oh, it's like a more or less a top-down like horde enemy roguelike game where like you get buffs and stuff like that. That's another good one that I've been uh just been playing. I'll probably play it when I'm done because it's fun. Or even check out Vampire Survivors. Like both of those games though, like though that genre of game always melts your computer. It's like Vampire Survivors, there can be so many goddamn enemies on your screen that even though it's in a pixel art style, like a high-end computer will be chugging. I'm not kidding. A high-end computer will chug. Will like slow down. It's nuts. Like I turned off like numbers or something just to like in particle effects just because like there's a lot going on. Like minimal particle effects. It's like, yeah, there's a lot going on screen that I think it's probably best to not, have all of this up. That's a big thing too. That's a big one. Or like even for Soulstone Survivors, like it's which is more of like a 3D version of Vampire Survivors, I would say, but more like Norse, like gladiator genre esque, as like Vampire Survivors more like Castlevania theme, like uh medieval stuff, medieval uh like 18 like 17th century 19th century, like around that time, where it's like Victorian era. That's kind of where that is, but like Soulstone is like gladiator stuff, like Dark Ages. They're both good games. They're very good games, but like whenever a boss or whatever, it's like it starts chugging. It starts chugging. Doesn't matter what PC you have, and it's hilarious. I love those kinds of games. Like like it's same thing with like Binding of Isaac. You get a good combo off. As you can tell, I really do like roguelike games. Uh, like Binding of Isaac, it's like you get a build to a point where like you're like there's so many things on screen. You're just like you can visibly see the game slow down, or like you can't shoot or else you're gonna crash. I love that. That's so fun. I love those runs where it's just like you you fire once, it's just like quick boop, all of a sudden the whole room is just exploding. Those are the funniest runs. Uh, yeah, I really do like roguelike games. Another one I will add is Hades. Uh, Hades nuts. No, Hades is a good game. I love Hades. Um, Another roguelike game where you try and get the hell out of there, get out of hell, get out of the underworld. It has a lot of good story, a lot of good characters, a lot of good voice acting, uh, and good story. A lot just it's such a good game. It's such a good game. But then like even like after the credits roll, there's a lot of end game stuff that you could be doing and make your runs harder and earn stuff here and there. It's just like it's a collectathon, but it's a good game. It's a very good game. You can build relationships with with other characters. It's just a fun game. And the soundtrack goes hard, because I think the guy that voices um frick, why can I not remember the main character's name? Atreides? I can't remember what it is. Oh my god, I can't remember. Well, it's also been a long time since I played Hades, but like the main character, his voice actor is like a music guy. So he like composed pretty much all of the music. And like he even like sings in it too. And he does a good falsetto, a very good falsetto. But and he also does it as like he does it as a character, but like you could tell. You could tell. Especially when you're doing I feel like when you're doing a character, like if you're like stretching it to the edge, there's definitely a lot of like, oh, this is not the character anymore. This is you, the voice actor, trying to not die, not try to break, or showing out. But like, ooh, in the blood, like duets, just like ooh, ooh. I love that. the just the dissonance in the but like the dissonant harmonies are just so mm, mm, love it. Absolutely love it. Ah, yeah, other games. I think I need to get into Pokemon. Like again, I play Pokemon Violet just a little bit just to get through some of the tutorial. I can see how the game is just kind of bad, but like at the same time, people are like, it's good too. It's like there is obvious jank that like, of course there's gonna be jank, but there's like, y'all need to just get over yourselves. Like, it's a game. It's a game. Of course, like Game Freak is not gonna as ironically small as a studio that they are, which they're not really a small gaming studio. They're not putting. I mean, they give themselves way too massive a timeline. And I think Pokemon Legends Arceus was more or less a test to see if their open world, the catching method that's in Arceus will work in this game in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And it people liked it in Arceus, so here we are. I don't know how it really works in Scarlet and Violet because I literally played like an hour or two, and the tutorial is slow. Oh, that tutorial is so slow. It could be worse, but like, come on, just let me go. Let me go. Let me go. People like, I don't get like when people are like, oh, that are like intentionally trying to break the game, saying like, oh, this game sucks. Why is it? Why can I do this? Oh, the game's bad because I'm trying. The game's bad. Look, my character's in a place it shouldn't be because I was doing a thing that I shouldn't been doing, and I got into this area that I shouldn't be in, and now my game bug. Now my game's buggy. I wonder why, dumbass. Wonder why. Wonder why you fell out of the world because you were like trying to no clip out. I wonder why. I wonder why that was. I wonder why. I wonder why you fell outside of that. But no, I've seen some funny clips where like, oh, Pokemon were just, wild Pokemon were just on like the side of a cliff or like on the edge of a cliff, and then all of a sudden, or stuff like that. I love watching that stuff. It's hilarious. It's so funny. So funny. Like, I gotta play more into that. And then Warhammer 40k Dark Tide came out. Whoo. I'm mainly playing as a psyker, which is basically I was playing one match and one guy was like named Jimmy Neutron. I'm like, that's spot on. That's spot on as a psyker because psykers from the lore are basically they're witches, but like your main ability, like at level 1, you can basically call to the rift, which is basically, more or less fast travel across the universe or the void. I don't know much about the lore. Get off me. But like basically you're using up a lot of things to not like try to summon eldritch gods into your head, or get to the point where you're basically having them they're like in your head, but basically you can use that power to blow at bad guys up, like explode their heads, and it's funny when you do it. So it's like brain blast. I think that's the main ability of like you run out, like you don't need bullets to do it, you just need to like make sure like you recharge yourself and like rest it, so like you're not exhausting yourself, and then all of a sudden boom, you're dead. Yeah, you go down. It's like you don't want that, but you can get a good explosion out of it and kill enemies too when you do that, which I haven't done, which there's an achievement for that, but I'm not doing it. God, I'm not doing it, not right now. That's just crazy. And the game scales really hard. Like there's like I I think in a lot of games there's obviously difficulty scaling, and I'm like level, I think I'm like level 9 right now out of 30, and I'm still doing like low risk level missions because, oh boy, even like tier 2, and I think there's like technically 5 but mainly 4 tiers, and even tier 2 does not hold back. Holy crap, it does not hold back. like like you can be blazing through like tier 1 missions, but do the exact same one on tier 2. Oh yeah, you're done. You're instantly like, no one's gone down on tier 1, tier 2, wipe easily. It's like, god damn. God damn. With like same teams, like, really. It is unforgiving. It is very unforgiving. And I haven't really seen it a whole lot, like trolling, but like there's a lot of like hidden things that you don't want to like interact with, and there's some that you do. One that you don't want to interact with is the demon host, because it's basically summons an enemy, like a boss that will target a single person, and will not stop until they are dead, and it'll move on to another one, and then after two, obviously, because like if it did the whole party, oh my god, you're done for. You're just dead. Like after two people are dead, it just leaves. It just straight up leaves. But no, but once you aggro it, ooh, run. Like you gotta basically have an Okran with a shield, because yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. And Okran is just basically big guy, big tanky guy, and if they have a shield, they can basically take no damage from him, which is so sick. And it's basically the way that me and like a couple of my buddies were able to like cheese it. So like if someone accidentally, or if it just so happened to trigger, we're like, okay, big guy, you get him, you aggro, you get their attention, so we can kill it, and they just like sit there, shield up, taking no damage. Well, like if any other person were lasting that long, done. They'd be done. Ah, but that's just kind of how it worked. And it's fun. Like again, it's a fun game. It's a very fun game. And I think, but it also is very taxing at the same time. Also, because I like wear my shirt that I'm wearing during this episode, it says "to be continued," which is also part of the stream. And for those that are on a, like in my regular streams, it is an asset that I have at the end of my end screen, and I'll show it up right now. I'm not ending. I'll just show it. This is what my regular end screen looks like. One side of it looks like "to be continued" on the left, and on the right it says "see you later, Space Cowboy," or "later, Space Cowboy," both in reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and to Cowboy Bebop, because those are good shows. Those are good animes. Um, I I also have, it's like, I got very interested in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because there's a lot of musical references, and Midnight Ramen, as a, like, that was a big thing with Midnight Ramen. And it's not really, I can get into it, but like when I was doing Midnight Ramen as a tradition in my dorm room, like that was really when I got into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, was around that time in like February, like January, February, like February, March of 2019 is when I really got into is when I got into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And it was really through a buddy of mine, and then I just like I watched like parts 1 and 2. I'm like, part 1 it's like but then part 2 it's like slowly built up, and it's like, all right, now this is awesome. And then I think like I do have like posts of me, or like I save photos of me doing like Midnight Ramen as like a snap from years ago when they did it as a tradition. And I remember one of them was when I started part three, and I'll look for it because like I still remember like I those are some fun times. I miss doing it? No, because I was up late. I still am up late. Like, what am I doing right now? I'm up late. I'm up late doing just the dumbest stuff. But yeah, oh my god. I'm looking at some of these, I'm just like, I'm a nerd. I'm a real nerd. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I found one. It's right here. Oh shit, wrong one. Wrong one. This one. Yeah. And in the corner, like, oh, and it has a Baja Blast because that was around at the time. God damn. Yeah, part three right there. So I got in around the time that part five was like being aired. Am I mad that like part six is over? Yeah, I'm a little sad that part six is over now. Uh, am I mad about the way that it was released? Yes, definitely. Am am I happy that it's over? Yeah, I'll definitely too. I think it's just that I was mad about it, but like I'm happy that it's over because part six is definitely a divisive part, but mostly people really just hate it. And I'm not like I'm only like I'm still on batch two because like I was doing it weekly, but then I fell off. I fell off. But then I'm probably just gonna binge the rest. I'll probably do it when I'm like editing this video or edit or like when this is like rendering. This is rendering. I'll probably just watch an episode or two because like god damn it. I just got done I think the episode that I last watched or I'm on the Jailhouse Rock arc, which is Jailhouse Lock because the translation. The previous episode that I just finished was like Awaken, and that one is so much stuff happens in that, and it's so passionate and it's so goddamn good. It makes like David Productions put in a like for the crap that they got, especially for the batch one because and I think they tried to fix a lot of their stuff that they did because there's a lot of CGI, a lot of just stuff that just looks kind of bad in the first batch, and even the second batch too. Like I bet there was like still stuff, but they put in a lot of love and care into it, and I'm happy, and I'm just glad that it's done because the next one is gonna be difficult. Because part six is difficult in the fact that there's a big reason. There's a big reason that it's tricky, and it's in the third batch of like where it gets like dicey. It's like you have um I don't want to get too spoily, but you have a stand that basically brings copyrighted characters to life. A lot of Disney references with that come along, and Disney World and references to that, which like I haven't gotten to that bit, but it's like right there. I'm just like, how do they do it? How do they do it? And then also there's uh, just a problematic arc that talks about very sketchy groups. I'll just leave it at I'll just leave it at that. It's very sketchy racist groups for a character's backstory, not because they were in it, but they were being hunted by said group. I'll leave it at that. And it was kind of wrongly, even though they were of said group, but they weren't. But they weren't, but they were hunted because of they look like they were, but they weren't. It, it's not like in the manga itself, like there's no reason for said character to be the way that they are, but they are because their parents just don't look like that. but yet somehow it's convoluted. I don't want to get into it. If you want to read it or watch it, go watch it. But I won't get into it because it's not for this place and time and channel and all that other stuff. I don't want to get into it. I just don't want to. Not the place, not the time and place. Anyhow, anyhow. Like I love it. Part 7 is going to be difficult because horses are a big thing, and they basically got to do CGI for it because horses are tough as shit to draw. They just are, and that's how they've always been. Um, so, and you got to do a lot of them. So CGI is probably going to be the way that they're going, which I'm not too mad about. And I think if as long as they find a way to like blend it together, it'll be, who cares? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? It's horses. I mean, you can find ways to like make the horse, when it's not running or moving, to not be CGI or whatever, blah 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 blah, or blend it together. Because there are definitely ways that you can blend CGI and 2D animation together very, very well. It's very excruciating, but there are definitely ways to do that. I think a good example of that is like Klaus, or I think Klaus is a good one. I know Corridor has like video, like I was watching one of their videos and they referenced especially like Klaus is like they blended 2D and 3D animation together very seamlessly. Like you can't tell that this platter of vegetables or veggies or whatever is CGI while everything else is hand drawn. Like that's crazy. It is truly amazing what you can do. But yeah, I do have plans for when part 7 is announced. I have a very big idea in mind. Will it actually happen? I don't know. I have big plans for it, and I mentioned it probably in my radio show, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, and we'll see. If it does happen, I'll do it. If I do have the chance and the opportunity to do it, I will do it. But we'll see. We'll see. But back to gaming. After I take a little sip of my drink because I am thirsty. Yeah, there's a lot. Again, I keep saying this. There's a lot of good games out. A few of them that I have just in the backlogs I want to play. And I think I'll stream this eventually or at some point. I want to stream Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, but I want to do it like an edgy, funny stream, stuff like that. Because that's I love the memes that come out of that game, but I have not played it, and it sounds funny. I want to play it someday, or sometime. But I do also have the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Battle, freaking All-Star Battle R. And I am not a fighting game person, but I do love the interactions that the characters have. They did a lot of good work in that game. There's also some funny janky stuff in there that I don't want to get into because it's a little bit spoilery, but I love the interactions that they did and all the stuff that they did in the game. It's so fun. It's so fun and funny, and there's a lot of heart put into that. Is it game of the year stuff? No. Hell no. God no. Goddamn no. But still. It's also a remaster, so like no. It's not gonna. No. I don't expect it to. There are definitely a lot of games out there though that I want to play. Some of them on stream, some of them not. Fortnite. Okay, I want to talk about Fortnite. I was definitely one of those people that I like about a year ago, or even like less, whenever season 3, and now it's season 4 right now. So there's a new map, a new this and that, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. I was a non-believer. I was definitely one of those people that was like, Fortnite bad. Fortnite bad. But then I started playing it and I found out, holy crap, Fortnite good. Fortnite really good. Like, you don't have to be like, especially now with no build mode, like you have separate, like, one's the normal mode that you can build stuff and build barriers and build fortresses and stuff like that. You can do that, or you could do the non-building mode and have it just be gunplay, more about the gunplay. And that's what I really like. But going into season 4, like first game I went into it, I went into like a building one, and I was unaware. Like I was in like more than halfway through the match, and I'm like, why is there planks? Why is there wood here? Why did that guy that I killed have wood? Curious. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the build mode. And I got second. I got second on my first game in season 4. And I may have been able to get the win, but like, if I didn't play stupid. Also, I had a weapon that I didn't know how to use it yet, so I'm like, that kind of screwed me up. But I could have won. I may have had a good chance to win if I wasn't a dumbass. So I don't have a good chance of winning because I'm a dumbass. Well, them's the rules. But no, Fortnite is a fun game. Like, what other game? I mean, other than like if you have to mod like a VR stuff, what other game can you find like even in this season, like Doom Guy fighting Master Chief at while like Rick from Rick and Morty watches in the distance and tries to snipe uh uh freaking Spider-Man wearing a Pickle Rick backpack or something like that. It's just like so crazy. Like you get all these properties just together, and it's like, why is Darth Vader here? Why is this person here? It's like, it's just so funny just like seeing a, why is Darth Vader Gangnam styling on this guy? What's going on? It's so funny. It's so funny. Like, even though like there were definitely moments of like I would get like red hot with rage, and I had one a little earlier. Uh, it's like it's a funny it's a funny game. It's so funny, and it's a good one. And I don't get why it gets all that like all the hate that it does. No, it is a fun game. Does it get stale a little bit? A little bit, but I think they do a lot of good work with like refreshing it like weekly with like, oh, here's some new content, here's new mechanics into the game that like keep the gameplay fresh. Like, oh, here's a new gun, here's a new utility item that you can get around places, like a web like a web slinger or something like that you can use to like grab onto trees and just swing yourself around, or a hammer that you can hit the ground and it'll send you flying, like things like that. I love that sort of stuff. Or like a bounce pad that you can bounce off of and go a far distance. Or cars, or like rideable animals. Like, it's so fun what they like just mix it up to make just the gameplay so interesting and not like weird, but like fun. Like one game you can be like absolutely dominating, like on a hog, but next game you get just like bamboozled out on the drop. It's interesting. It's so interesting. Just to be playing like a character that has nothing to do with the game, that normally would not be in a video game, period. But they're just there. They're just there. It's funny. Like Dwayne the Rock Johnson's in Fortnite. Dwayne the Cock Johnson's in Fartnuts. I realize that this is recorded. Now I feel stupid. Psych. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Mm. Take that one, liberals. There's chemicals in the water. Bring the frogs, gay. He actually kind of was right. I'm pretty sure on that. I think, actually was ironically right. As although that was a joke, like people took it as a joke. I think he kind of was right, actually. But that's neither here nor there, and I don't want to get into political crap. I don't want to get into that. Not here, not ever. But I think he actually, ironically, was right, which is so funny. Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's probably the end of this show. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, rate, share, and all that other fun stuff. You know. I'd also like to thank Gradients for the use of their song "Used to It" off of the album "The Call," which is the last official track on that album, and it is definitely an album that I'll talk about this probably next time if I remember it. But it is definitely to me it is one of those albums that you can put on in a car and just listen to it like top to bottom. That every time I get into the car and I put that on, or if like I have the intention to put that on, I just listen top to bottom, no skips. And like if I'm going on a road trip, that's definitely one of those albums that I'd be doing that with. So, and that's why and I think it's definitely they are one of my top artists in my Spotify Wrapped, which I haven't been able to check on for weird reasons, but I don't know. Anywho, so thank you to them for the use of their song and other stuff, and again, thanks to you for listening. And yeah, again, thank you for listening. And if you can watch this on Twitch, watch me record it live, watch me stumble on nothing, watch me open a pack of cards, because I could probably do that again. But yeah. But until next time, it is midnight somewhere. And until then, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Used to it.